Episode 44, and we are back in the studio.
She's back off holiday.
Back
We'll
off
just take
my
a moment for that.
not so solo holiday because it got gate crashed.
I had to fake tan last night because I
Have
thought she's going to be.
It wasn't that warm. We're in April, aren't we? So
yes, your holiday got gate crashed because if you remember, she was going on her own.
Yep.
But more importantly, beyond us two, we've got Lydia on from the Freedom Project. What a woman! What a vibe! So we met at the Wild and Wild event, the networking event on my birthday. And I remember turning up to this event and I might have looked as like a really powerful woman. Inside, I had the worst anxiety, crippling anxiety. And in you came and you were just so effortlessly yourself, just like this energy. I was like, I need you in my life. and like, it was just a moment when I sat with you and I was like, you've just got this presence about you. So you're a therapist coach to empower women, to unravel, I suppose, and to become the version of themselves beyond the layers, and who they were meant to be beyond what society, and childhood and everything made them to be. So how did you come about where you are now?
So it's kind of a mixture really of knowing myself better, doing the unraveling myself, doing the work, doing the self-reflection, but I also just look back at my the way I was raised and my parents and so I always say I think who we become is our environment, so how we were nurtured and the relationships that we had growing up, but it's also then your choice, what you choose about that based on who you are. So knowing yourself, knowing who you are, and then making choices based on leaning into yourself. So I think coming to the position that I'm now is a mixture of those. So from when I was very little, I became my mum's confidant really. So from a very young age, so I matured emotionally very quickly, and I think that set me up with some healthy and unhealthy skills in terms of empathy and sensitivity to others, and I feel like I have a really good sense of feelings. I'm always picking up on energy of people, energy in a room, and I'm so in tune with that and myself. And I think both of those things have been driven by how I was nourished and who I am. So then I kind of I did a psychology degree, fell into looking after people, supported people with profound learning disabilities for a while, and that was really, really really good work. And then just saw a job to train to become a therapist, and I was like, I'm just going to do that. When you're so young, you just kind of, I don't know, being in my 30s now, I'm I just choose everything. But back then, I don't feel like I even chose it. I just did it because I thought I'd be good at it. So trained to become a therapist, trained in cognitive behavioural therapy. That was my foundations, and then have just built on that training since. And then having children changes everything.
Absolutely everything, doesn't it? And I think, so if we go back to, when we're children and, we are a product of our upbringing. We're a product of what we're surrounded by. We almost become, have these layers on us all the time, and we talk, I feel like we talk about this every episode now. It's it's almost like we become this version of ourselves we don't even know. And I think I walked around for so many years as this version of myself that didn't feel authentic. It almost felt like I was showing up for somebody else.
I think a lot of people do.
Did you do? Who am I showing up
unless
for?
you really work hard.
Dressing as somebody told me to dress. And then it's almost like, do you think that having children really, really changes everything about how you want to show up?
Totally.
Who you want to be, what do I want to show them? And for me, that was a massive turning point in who am I going to be for them? What am I going to show them? And I think I put something on Instagram this week where I said, people used to say to me, well, if you leave, you're going to damage them. Well, you have to really change that mindset, don't you? Because actually it would be more detrimental to my children to stay in the midst of an unhappy relationship What am I role modeling to them?
That's it.
What am I showing them? And actually, we are their role models. They will go on to do what we do. And I always say, it's not what happens to us, it's how we bounce back.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
I wish somebody had built resilience in me as a child.
Yeah.
I had none.
Yeah.
I've had to build it over the last few years.
Yeah.
Like, how to bounce back.
How to bounce back.
Through hard times. So what made you choose, I suppose, women, self-love? Is it because of your journey that you've been on of unravelling the layers of...
Yeah, so really similar to you, grew up in the 90s, like very much good girl mentality, wanted to do the right thing all the time, be the right thing, be perfect, you know, like, yeah, just I was just like squashed into this tiny little box where everything had to be just right, and I couldn't go out of the house if everything wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And that's so suffocating. It's so suffocating. And when my daughter was born, I held her face and I was like, you are perfect just as you are right now, like your skin, your eyelashes, like everything about you. And I have like a really close spiritual relationship with God, and I just felt God say to me, you are beautiful just as you are. Like that, like how you're seeing Edith is how I see you. And no one had ever said that to me. Like I'd never heard that before in that way. And I was like, it's so, and that changed everything for me. Like when I was looking at myself in the mirror, I would just hear that instead of all of the criticism.
Absolutely. Which we do.
And like your eyebrows need something on, or like, you can't go out without mascara on, or like your skin is like blemished or textured, or you know, all of those things.
And it's your ego, isn't it? Your ego wants you to be perfect. Your ego wants you to show up as this person. Honestly, every day my ego's saying something to me. Oh, you've got a new wrinkle. Absolutely. I'm 30 and I'm nearly 40. And I am, you know, I'm not 21 anymore. And I think it's about having them thoughts and not letting your ego win. So I'm in full battle with my ego at the minute. No, thank you. Not today. It feels like I'm going through like a breakup with it.
It does, And what that's been fed by, that ego's been fed by society, it's been fed by capitalism, it's been fed by all of these things that we are consuming all the time, constantly, like feeding ourselves with messages. And they are just there, running all the time.
I absolutely every day have to really push past that ego and then thoughts. Like for example, like, you know, I put something on and my ego's going, Sarah, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just being like, so I'm like, no, this is me. This is Sarah Luby. And if people don't like the true, authentic Sarah Luby, then that's okay. And that's a really hard thing I've had to learn.
Really hard.
Is to be authentic and knowing that you are enough being just you. Because Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you go, you've got to look this way, you've got to be this way, And so then when you start being this person without that, it's really powerful, but it's also feel very vulnerable. Because like you've been brought up like, well, you're not good enough, you're not this. So when you start being you, you're almost ready for, ready for the rejection. I'm ready for war with it. Because I'm waiting for it, because that's what I've been told to be bold and be brass, like out there as a woman. No, you don't do that. So then I'm ready for somebody to just knock me back down. But then I've learned that there's nobody can, because this is me. And when you build, we talk about this sometimes, don't we? Building a home within yourself is actually, no matter what somebody says to you, no matter about anything, is you've got yourself. And that's quite a powerful feeling, isn't it?
You are your safety, you are your cozy. You know when you get back home, when you get back in your own bed, like that is the internal world that we want to build, not this like critical, harsh, like,
So I suppose, like, so I think we live in this world of like, we've got to look this way. So how would you suppose teach women or young people to have a better inner dialogue of themselves? So for example, I'm good at challenging mine now, not all the time. But for people who absolutely bash themselves, my teeth aren't straight. I can't wear my hair this way because Instagram tells me to be. How would you then tell people or show people different, and how to, is it just getting up in the morning talking to yourself, or
think it's knowing yourself, so knowing what you like outside of what anybody else says or
Yeah.
what anything else says. So if you know yourself and then loving that version of yourself, and when you love that version of yourself, then you can just be it unapologetically. And it's just catching habits. So when people apologise for themselves all the time, catching those like surface level habits that feed that inner core belief about yourself. So I see it like a tree. I often say to clients about a tree, so like your core beliefs sit in your trunk. So they're like, that's what that's your foundation, that's the position you'll come back to. So a lot of people will have, I'm not good enough as their core belief. So then every thought that they have is driven by that core belief. So if you want to change that core belief, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to have a different one today. I'm going to say I am good enough, and then everything will change. You have to like change the leaves and the branches first.
Before,
So notice those surface things.
Right.
So the habits where you might apologise for something that you don't need to. So apologise for somebody else on your behalf.
Yeah,
Or-
Dead
or-
easily done.
Or if
yeah.
I came in here and I was like, oh, it's a bit chilly in here, you might be like, oh, sorry, that's not your fault.
Most
Like, that's not,
probably.
you
Yeah.
can't control that.
No,
But
yeah.
we do this, and especially in this culture that we live in, we apologise for everything all the time. We think we're in somebody's way when we're not. We're like, oh, sorry.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
It drives me. Nobody else moves when I'm on the pavement. I'm dodging it like, sorry. But everyone else is just, and then I think, so the boys think I'm rude sometimes, but I said, well, no, they didn't move for me.
Yeah.
And I'm the one apologising.
Yeah.
It's them
Yeah,
things,
so it's
isn't
those
it?
little tiny things, and once you start to change all of those, and you have to have the self-awareness first
Yeah.
to be able to see them, and I think that only comes when you come up against conflicts, or you come up
Yeah.
against like internal like unrest, or
Yeah.
and then once you start filtering through those, then the way that you see yourself starts to change.
Starting at surface level and then
It's like with
working.
anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really like that you want to change, that's quite big about yourself. You have to start small and make tiny little goals, and then it will start to feed in.
So for me, it's a big one. If somebody compliments me and I shut it down,
There you go. That's a real common one.
massive.
Yeah.
Do you do? So somebody will say to me, your hair's nice, and I'll go, I've washed it.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
So now, no thank you.
No.
So somebody will say, your hair's nice, say thank you.
Thank
And
you.
it absolutely
Yeah.
batters me inside.
Yeah.
My body's shaking because it's not normal to take. I
Yeah.
struggle with compliments.
It's embracing it, isn't it? Embracing those.
Or I like the
Because I think
outfit,
we
yeah,
don't-
it was only £10. But why? Why do I need to say
Yeah.
that it was only £10? Like, why
Yeah.
can't I just say,
Just say, oh, thank you.
much? Because I compliment
Yeah.
so many people all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I did the other day? How honestly, I was at Tesco's Reservoir and I saw these 4 old people just sitting on the bench together. So I asked if I could take a picture of them. Just because that's authentic. I was like, did they need that moment?
Yes.
And they were
Yeah.
like, oh, thank you so much. But my ego was going, how dare you do that? What are you doing? No. And I was like, no, that's me. That's what I want to do. And if people think I'm too out there, but it's like them, like my mind is constantly trying to pull me back at all costs, but not no more.
Yeah. And that's the word I hand up with, which is the opposite to pull, like push. Like you have to push yourself and keep pushing yourself past that uncomfortable like barrier that keeps you small. And then once you've pushed so much, like we were talking about earlier, those neural pathways start to change. Like our brain can change out those entrenched habits.
So maybe that's the thing we can talk about, because I wanted to talk about growth, and people think it's all rosy, and you go do yoga, a bit of Pilates, but it's messy. It is messy, and it's like, but unless we dig in the depths of it and we sit in the mess of healing, there's no way you're going to become or unravel them layers. So I just think like it's a good thing to talk about is the mess of it, and if we don't sit in it, then we're not going to heal it. We're not going to become that version of ourselves. And there's been times for me, and I know for Zara, is we've had to sit in hell, haven't we? You know, when you go through these times. But you know what? It's magical. In the midst of it, you don't see there's a way out, do you? You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But there is, isn't there? And it's like them pathways. So like I said last week or the week before, is like I feel like I am rewiring my brain. that is exhausting in itself, and it's them neural pathways, but it is doable.
Yeah.
And I can almost feel now, I do feel different, and I am choosing different.
Yeah.
And so anybody in the midst of like growth, healing, you've just got to plough through it.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like walking through cement.
It's hard work though as well, isn't it? And I think people do, I know with my partner, he's going through it at the minute, and he just thinks, oh, I'm just going to have some counselling and it'll be fine. I'm like, Sam, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. He needs to forgive. I think forgiveness is a massive thing for
Huge
me.
thing, isn't it?
Is, you know, what they did to me. I'm a completely different person now. I went in last night and while we were eating McDonald's, just had a little conversation with them. And
But it's took you a long time to get
yeah,
there.
I would never ever be that person, whereas my partner with his ex, there's so much hate and bitterness. And I just, however many times I say to him, who is, because I got to a point, I think I snapped out of it when I was like, whose energy is this taking?
Yeah.
Because we know what those people are, and that's okay. That's their people. But that's no reflection on you, and so they don't give a shit if I need to hurt you because you hurt me.
Yeah.
I need to do this because I hate you. It's that changing of why am I putting my energy and all this negativity in my life into somebody who literally
because it'll only
don't
eat you
care.
up.
Yeah.
Your feelings.
And I think that was a massive turning point for me. And the whole forgiveness thing, I've said, I haven't forgotten, but I forgive because, again, it's...
You have to let
you
go.
have to let go.
And I just don't think he's there yet. But I don't know if he knows how to get there, because I think it's okay for us because we can sit and talk and we can have this and we journal. But for men, and a lot of men, it's hard for them they've been brought up in a society that make them say,
and he is
don't
very,
cry,
very like that.
I'm a man, you're a man, So then when it comes to real life stuff, they've got no idea how to handle it. And that's really hard, because for you who's like, this is what you need to do, but for him, he hasn't got that capacity, the basic understanding, and it's almost like really frustrating for you.
It gets frustrating. Yeah.
But equally,
it's like my way or the highway. He's very sort of like, if you've not got the same opinion, and it's like, but I had those opinions and I've been through the same, and I get it, but you've got to work at it, and it is hard. But
I think, you know what, you've got to sort of, yes, you're his partner, but he is also an adult, and he needs to take his responsibility on his healing journey. I don't believe we're here to fix people. You can guide him, you can support him, and that's all you can do in these situations. And I think it's just really difficult when you're really on the different wavelength of, this is what I think you should be doing, and you're choosing not to, and I'm finding this, and you're going to come up against him because he's not where you want him to be at, and he's not understanding that either. And it's really, really tricky. So
Interesting.
So when women come to you, I suppose, is it when they are just lost, need a bit of direction, need a bit of guidance, and so they come along? I feel like I'm in a session right now. And, what would be the things that you ask them, and like how to, I suppose, how to learn women to love themselves, because I've done it pretty much on my own, and it's been hell on earth. I mean, I could have done with you 2 years ago. Just every day in my life, just come live with me. And so how do you guide women?
So we start with what's the thing that keeps coming up that is a barrier. So often you find that the thing that is the barrier is like a repeated cycle. So I keep finding myself in this same position. It might be in my social situations, it might be at work, or it could be something external, or it might just be a feeling like I'm really anxious and I don't know why, or I'm really low and depressed and I don't know why. Or I'm worrying all the time.
I think a lot of thing is self-worth, isn't it? So say for example, I come to you and I just do not feel good enough, low self-worth. It's like, do you then do like the conversations around that, and get
so
too nitty gritty on it.
yeah, so I'll look at how is this cycle being maintained. So how are these thoughts and feelings that you're having being maintained? So what's sustaining this repeated cycle that you're in? So you're having these low self-esteem type feelings. Is it in your behaviours? So this goes back to like the cognitive behavioural therapy foundation.
And that's
Is it in your
Okay.
behaviours? So are you putting yourself in situations and making choices that confirm the thoughts that you have that you're not good enough? So you'll be friends with people that put you down and criticise you, or you'll seek out relationships, like romantic relationships that do the same. And then we just like kind of figure out which one is the like loudest. So is it the behaviours that are the loudest? Are they the sustaining factor, or is it the thought processes?
Right, okay.
And then there's loads of different skills and techniques that you can use to challenge those unhelpful
So
thinking
it's
habits.
first addressing.
First addressing where the root of the problem is, how it's being sustained.
Yeah.
And I go into a like long history as well. So like, what were your parents like? How did it feel to grow up? Who did you like? How would you describe yourself as a child, like now and at the time? So I do a history. We look at you in the present, and then what are your goals then? Like, who do you want to be, or where do you want to be in however long they
I
have?
love that, because
Yeah.
I think sometimes a lot of people understand everything that's happened to you through childhood. You are a product of that, aren't you? So going back and doing that history of actually, so for me, I have had, and maybe still have a lot of a rejection, abandonment wound. So I've had to really go back and figure out where that wound's come from.
Yeah.
Because if I don't,
It's going to keep coming up.
because
Yeah.
I've also, so I've had to really go back and really find where
and is
it's
it
come
accepting that then? Is that
from. Yeah, so
what
when
you have
I
to
find
do?
it,
When you find it, is it then
saying that
right? That's okay,
Yeah.
and that's not
it's
how,
not the truth.
It's not the
Yeah,
I
do
don't
you
know,
come
it's
back?
like
So
how-
say I found my abandonment, so I
Yeah.
know that this is why
Yeah.
I've got the rejection abandonment wound.
Yeah.
So I found it. So then what do I do with it then?
Feel about it.
Sit with the feelings.
Yeah. Have all the feelings that you potentially weren't able to have or process when it happened.
Yeah.
yeah.
Feel it, cry about it, cry for that child.
Honestly, I
Like
spend a lot of
hurt
time
for that
crying.
child, have pain for that, or whatever,
Yeah.
wherever you were. And then from that, then you can make choices. So, okay, that's how, like you've expressed, then you can process
Yeah.
the feelings, and then you can make choices about whether you want to stay there in the pain and the hurt, or whether you want to move forward, and then what that looks like. What do I need to do?
It's so powerful. I can almost feel like the pain that I've had to
Yeah.
feel. And like I've had to go back to that little girl.
Yeah.
I've had to go back to her. I've had to reassure her.
Yeah.
I've had to let her know that we're safe.
Yeah.
And doing that inner child
Yeah.
work is incredible, because again you're healing the root cause.
Yeah.
So most days I have to make sure that little Sarah, the little girl, she knows that she's okay. The teenage Sarah,
Yeah.
who was absolutely in the depths of grief and trauma, that actually we're okay now.
Mhm.
The 20-year-old version
Yeah.
of me, absolutely lost, letting her know that she's okay. Because now I am a 39-year-old woman who's able to nurture them parts of me. And it's so powerful. It makes me feel
Yeah.
quite emotional, because I'm doing it.
Yeah, gives me goosebumps.
I'm
Because it's
doing
so
it.
human as well. Like,
It's
this is
so
what we're
like,
supposed to
and
do.
that's why I
Yeah.
do the podcast, is because it's hard work, but I've become this woman now who can look after all them versions of myself.
Yeah.
2 years ago I couldn't,
Mm.
and maybe a few months ago I couldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow I won't be able to, but today
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
And it's about having people like you and having people with that mindset and understanding that there is different, but you have to go back to the root cause.
I don't think a lot of people realise that though as well. I don't think a lot of people, you know, if they're watching this and it's a bit like, oh, I didn't know that, you know, it's what we spoke about, like the subconscious,
Yeah.
Yes.
like every little thing
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
I've been having a conversation with Sam, and is, you know, his wife leaving. I'm like, it has a massive effect on you, and
Absolutely.
because the same with my husband left, and whenever we have an argument or anything, that I'm so triggered
Yeah.
because I'm scared of being abandoned again. He doesn't get, and I don't think a lot of people realise how
Yeah.
much every single thing that happens to you
Yeah.
sits
Yeah, it sits there,
inside,
and
and
I
you
think that
have
was
to-
the thing for you, wasn't it? Is you got with Sam and you were still you could still be triggered back to that pain of
Yeah.
your marriage ending. But it's also a positive to be triggered. I think, as horrible as it sounds, like, don't run away from that trigger.
Yeah.
Go
I think
knee
you've got.
deep. Yeah, it's horrendous.
Knee
Yeah.
But go in it.
So why am I being triggered? Why?
Yeah.
Because I did have to sit with it for
It's horrific.
a couple of weeks. I was a
Yeah.
bit like, I don't know what it was that
Yeah.
triggered me, but I was massively triggered. And yeah, it took a while to.
But you
to
did,
get
I think,
over.
and I think it is the thing to say is, if you get triggered, do not run.
Be
Yeah.
curious. Like, don't see
What
it
is
as like
this?
a criticism. Like,
Mm.
why am I feeling like that? Like, we can easily be like, I shouldn't be feeling like this.
Like this.
But
Yeah.
just when you can use words like curious or interested, like, I'm so interested why that's happening.
Yeah.
Why is that happening? And then it's not that critical voice. It's like, oh, that's interesting, and your whole nervous system can relax around it, and then you can figure it out a bit differently because you can see it from a place of like calm.
Calm. Yeah.
Right, and it does like bring up your fight or flight because it's
Absolutely.
triggering loads of uncomfortable and horrible and painful emotions.
Yeah.
But yet our language and the way that we talk to ourselves is so important.
Mm.
And just having compassion for
I'm
ourselves.
just going to say,
Yeah.
being kind and compassionate to yourself.
Yeah.
Mm.
I absolutely batter myself sometimes, and I'm
Mm.
like, Sarah, you wouldn't say that to your friend.
Yeah.
So why are you saying it to yourself? And I feel like I'm turning a corner. I'm turning a corner in most aspects now. I think the Authentic Girls Club has been a massive part
Yeah,
of my
so-
journey,
So
and they're coming on Sofa as well. So that's exciting. But yeah, I think being kind and compassionate to yourself is so important, isn't it? Because honestly, I absolutely I'm so unkind to myself sometimes.
Mm.
Do you know what I find really difficult? Is living outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Like being a bit bullshit, being a bit loud, and being so like. For example, I went somewhere yesterday with the boys, and I am outgoing, and my mind was going, Sarah, they're going to think, what an absolute dick you are. That was the thought I was having.
Mm.
So, normal old Sarah would have reverted inwards. I was like, wow. In my head, this is all going on in my head. I'm in this place. Nobody's got any idea about what's going on. The 101 Google tabs open in my head. And I could have really reverted inwards and gone back to that little girl. And I was like, no, but this is you. And it's so powerful, isn't it? It's them moments that you get that self-doubt is going, now challenge it.
Yeah.
And now I challenge it because I'm bullshit, I'm loud, I'm all them things. And if that isn't right for you, then no thank you. Here's the door.
Off you go.
Off you go, out you go. Goodbye.
And normally, if the people that you're around, if they're not okay with that, with you, then it's about them, it's not about you. People who are secure and comfortable with who they are celebrate people
Yeah.
I am
and love
sorry for that.
authentic people, and
Yeah.
they're just like, I love you, I love who you are, everything you bring to my life,
Yeah.
and they're comfortable with it. People who criticise and like
That's
don't want
them
you
issue.
to- it's a them issue, and
Yeah.
you can say, here's your bag, take it with you out the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Because you just don't need, like, that is not good.
I do find when you're in that sort of energy as well that you don't sort of have those sorts of people.
You don't
Like we've
attract them
got
sort
quite
of.
a small group of friends, and
Yeah.
all of them are just really supportive and
Yeah.
really just don't allow them into, because I am very much like,
Your bubble.
no, bad vibes, goodbye. I won't even
Yeah.
put me energy into
Yeah.
even people at work.
So,
If I get like a bad vibe, I just think I'm not putting my energy
I don't know,
into
do you know
even
what?
talking to you.
Yeah, I get that, but just
Or
somebody
they'll
they
be
can
like,
tell.
sorry, good grief.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a big thing for you
Yeah,
because she used to
I
be
was
such a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So she'd befriend anybody, even if like they said something like, "It's all right." No, I'm proud of you.
yeah.
And boundaries are in place.
Yeah.
But some people don't know how to deal with that either.
No.
Like now, I'm like, no, if like somebody crosses me, do you know what I really like doing is killing them with kindness sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Absolutely kill them with kindness because they've got no idea what to do.
Mm.
Like, I'm a really nice person,
Yeah.
and the way you treat me is more a reflection on you, not me.
100%.
So, like, I'm like, do you know, sometimes I just smile at them and just
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
you know what,
okay,
that is a
thank
you
you.
issue. That really,
Yeah.
that's been another journey of understanding that it isn't personal to me.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's, again, building that home,
Yeah.
that reassurance
Yeah.
in yourself is, this is who I am. And I think sometimes my home didn't have a roof, any windows at times. It was just more like a shell. But the more times going on, the more now in times of difficulty and hard times, I'm coming back home to me. I'm not going back seeking validation from other people.
Yeah.
I'm going, actually, I've got myself. And sometimes I still haven't got a roof, but I'm coming back, do you know what I mean? And it's in them times of understanding. Everything is within you. You don't need anything else. We are so powerful, aren't we?
Yeah.
Our brains are so powerful,
Yes.
but for the wrong reasons sometimes. And I think that's about training
And nourishing it like you would your body.
Yeah.
Our bodies are so powerful. Look at athletes, but that's because they've nourished their bodies with the right thing. And we've been taught how to do that quite well. And we know to brush our teeth.
Yeah.
We know to go to the doctors. We know to go to
Yeah.
like an osteopath. Like we know to do all of those things.
Yeah.
With our mental health and our emotional health.
Yeah.
We're like,
never been.
Yeah.
How do you
How
nourish
do you
your mind and your brain and your
So how would you do that?
choosing things that you know are good for you? So scrolling on social media is just such a massive one that is just so bad for your brain. And getting those dopamine hits from things that just aren't like our brains are still so primitive. They're not used to this hustle culture. They're not made for it.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be slow. Like even a school run stresses me out because I'm like, we're supposed to live like this.
But it's
And it's true.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to have a morning where you wake up
Slowly.
and you can
In the
like,
Maldives, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's it. Other cultures do it very differently to we do,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
you see the way that they relate to themselves and their bodies and their
Yeah.
minds, and they just their mental health is so much
I
better.
lived in
Yes.
Amsterdam when I was younger, and you see the way everything's just so calm.
Yeah,
And they just go to the local bakery in the morning to get the fresh bread
on
and
their
Yeah.
bike.
on the
On the
bike.
bike.
Yeah,
Just a
so you're
little
getting that
stroll.
exercise
Yeah.
in. It's not like 10,000
With
steps
that.
go.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like-
not, I've got to
it's
wake up
just
at
part
5
of the
o'clock to get an
lifestyle.
hour in.
Yeah.
Before I get the school run, I've got to iron the kids' clothes, I've
It's-
got to do this. It is chaotic, absolutely chaotic.
And that's why we've just had 2 weeks off with the boys, half term, that I choose different in them times, that I'm not getting up and rushing, that I don't want them to become adults that feel that they have to do.
Yeah.
So half term is as expensive as you make it.
Yeah.
And I've had some just really slow days with the boys because I need to instill that in them, that we don't have to keep getting up and going out at the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
You know, we got up the other day, we had a slow one, we went and played tennis. But there was no rush in it, do you know what I mean? There was no dopamine, and it's so easy to instill that in our children. And I'm so petrified that I can't instill that hustle and bustle in them, even though that's what this life is like. But I also, beyond school and beyond everything, football, there's this home is calm. You just downtime. It's so important because their little brains as well. I think people forget, like, they just need to be human.
Yeah.
They just need to
And they need
just
rest, and they need solitude, and they need space, and they need time to process. Like their little frontal parts of their brain are still underdeveloped and so dysregulated. And, like you have to hold that, just in the same way that we have to hold ourselves and validate ourselves.
Absolutely.
That's why having children is so powerful, because you're like doing it for them, and you're like,
Yeah.
That is, it is the truth. And
Yeah.
like I think everything that I'm instilling is something that I perhaps wanted instilling in me. But they're such my children. So yesterday, they were playing with the friend. And do you know what they were playing? Therapists. I loved every second of it. Because they were playing, like, asking each other how they were feeling, about emotional work. I was just like, I'm done. My job is done. They are the most, so can express everything, and I feel like, we'll perhaps run into things as they get older, but do you know what? I was just like, yes to that.
Yeah.
Keep playing therapists. I'm here for it. Maybe just sit on the sofa with me, But it's like in them times, because parenting is hard work. I always say the people who find it the hardest are the ones changing generational trauma, the ones who are present, the ones who want different for the children. It's damn hard work to get up and choose not only different for yourself, but you're choosing different for your children. And every day and everything that I do for me is leaving my long-term relationship to being the mum that I am today, I would never have been her if I'd stayed.
Mhm.
And every morning and every day, like, I think, I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm the mum that I've always wanted to be. And can we also talk about, you can't do everything as a mum. Because I had not this Thursday, just gone, the Thursday before, being a present mum, choosing to go out, pack your bags and off you go, then, you know, you've got a house at home that still needs cleaning. And when you're on your own as well, that can't happen. And I was like, so I sat down and I sent a voice note to my friend and I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't do everything. And she said, why are you being so unkind to yourself? Like, because I was panicking because my house wasn't in tip-top shape. She said, but you're a very present mum. But it feels so much pressure, doesn't it, to be a present mum, to have a clean house, to be there for yourself and do. And I actually just absolutely sobbed with snot, with tears everywhere, because I was like, it felt a lot. Parenting can feel heavy. So do you know what? It was in that moment that I was really proud of myself, because I could have gone, self-sabotage, you're a rubbish mum, get your house clean. I made a green tea, got my journal out, and I said the cleaning can wait till tomorrow. I was so proud of myself. But that moment, that's changed for me. And it's a lot into it, parenting, it is a lot.
Yeah, I have that every day, that exact struggle, every day.
Every day.
And I have to, it's talking to yourself differently and it's saying the mess is okay, because I've done this instead. And there is always a sacrifice. Like we are told that we should have it all together all the time. That is so not human. And I always think back to when we used to live like in caves. Was everybody worried about how much dust there was on the floor?
Absolutely
No,
not.
we were just being together, eating together, playing, talking, and the therapy role play stuff is so interesting that we call it therapy when actually it's just being very human together.
Absolutely,
And feeling each other and talking about something that makes us so who we are. We're not like animals. Animals we do act on instinct, but they're very instinctual and primitive. We have this front part of our brain for a reason. We were made to be feeling and to be in relationship with one another, and that just gets cut. It's just been cut off for so long.
I think that's why I'm so big with the boys.
Yeah.
To be able to just have them open conversations.
Yeah.
From a young age, to instill that's what, because it took me a long time to understand that, you know, you don't have to have it all together, and you can't have it all together.
You can't.
And if you're you're telling lies.
And this is again,
I
the
honestly
social
believe,
media
like,
is a big lie.
Yeah.
It's a big lie, and we have to tell ourselves that when we're scrolling, that's not real, that's not real, that's not real, that's not real, because that's where
You
that
always see
standard.
snippets of people's lives, don't you?
But it goes in.
It
as
goes
truth.
in, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
anyway, I actually at that point I was like, I'd say to myself, but the boys have got a really present mum who's gone out with them today, and you've been with them. I could have chose that they sat at home and did nothing and I had a clean house. I can't choose that. So I've decided if anybody knocks on my door and it's a mess, I've changed my mindset around it. Put your penny on and you clean with me.
My mum will say,
Do you know what I mean though? Your mum's honestly.
My mum's terrible, absolutely
Honestly.
terrible. She'll be like, why aren't you on the washing on the line? Or
Can we just take a moment?
Mums.
Zara works full time.
put
And
the
parents.
put the washing on the line, or what, you know, do this. I've been on holiday for a week, I've come back, the house is an absolute tip. I just thought, well, you could have cleaned it. I do say to her now, I say, well, get your bleach out, duck, if you
Challenge it, because you work full time.
Yeah.
Like you are one person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so if anybody knocks on now, even the postman, you're welcome. Come in, clean up.
Yeah, you're welcome
Absolutely,
to.
today.
Yeah, they do help out massively. My dad will come down and clean the windows
No,
and
but
things.
it's
But I always
That feeling of making you feel like
feel like
inferior, like
yeah. So now I do say to her, I'll say, well, get your bleach out.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Where's my Donna Ashworth book? Have I did hand her?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Anyway, on that note, Donna Ashworth, what a vibe, what a woman. And you know what? I am so here for women empowerment. I don't think if you've noticed or not that I'm here for that. You know what? I'm a proper woman's woman. So, we all are, aren't we? And So I've decided every episode I'm going to bring the book and I'm going to read. I'm going to open it, and I opened it at this page with my mum today. So I'm going to read this to us. And do you know what? It's so, like, I trust the universe. The season of letting go. And so begins the season of letting go, when Mother Nature shows us all how it's done. Let go, free yourself, shake it off, drop it, give way for the new. Create space for new thoughts, new ideas, new adventures and new connections. By shedding the dead weight you've been carrying around for so long, and whilst you are there, being reborn and renewed, let go of old anxieties too. Let go of any doubts, fears or beliefs which no longer serve you well. Release bitterness or past hurts which feast on your beauty. Be brave. Don't fear the nakedness as your leaves slip away. Mother Nature doesn't. Watch and learn. That's so powerful, isn't it?
Nice.
Like, so here's to Donna Ashworth. I just read all
Are
this
these
stuff.
just little?
Yes, it's a
I
little
like those.
quote book. So what I tend to, I bought it with mum, but I'm having it back. So I'll just open it up in the morning.
Susan would be reading that.
It the one that here's another one. Be there for the dark moments and then enjoy the light together. Embrace it. You've got to embrace the dark times.
Yeah, and just that embrace the nakedness, like it just makes one be like,
That was like
Just
like
like-
me with my picture.
yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Absolutely, that picture.
That is who you are, is it? Take it all off. That's who you are.
That
That's it.
nakedness,
And
and
just
it's so
looking at
powerful,
yourself.
isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
who are you beyond? Honestly, every day, who are you beyond everything else? Who are you as true Sarah Luby? So another thing I've been doing every morning is asking myself, how do you want to show up today?
Yes.
Before I get out of bed, because if I don't, I reset quite. I'm quite low, so
Yeah.
I'm like, right, Sarah,
Yeah.
who are you going to show up as today? Who knows? But I'm like, no, this is the version of you. This is you. You're not 14 and vulnerable or 6 and feeling vulnerable. You're now, who are you going to show up as the woman you want to be? And it's really powerful.
Yeah, that intention setting, especially in the morning. Yeah.
And
choosing.
another one I use is, what would your 9-year-old self say?
Yeah, I love that.
So any decisions
Yeah.
I make now,
Yeah.
do I have a Greggs today or not? What would your 9-year-old self say?
Absolutely. Get the
Absolutely.
Greggs.
But like, it's a good thing to be asking yourself, what would she say?
And I love those interviews that you see with older people, and they're like, what is the advice that you would give to your younger
Yes.
self? And it's like, love yourself. Don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah.
Like all of those things, like do the thing, do the thing.
Absolutely.
And
Here we
don't
are.
don't worry about like working every hour and understand, like be present, like be with the people that you love, like all of those things. And they all say that consistently. And I know I'm going to say it as well when I'm older.
Yeah.
So like you, like every decision, I'm like, what would?
Honestly, it's quite powerful though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you start listening to, like, stopping in that moment of like, I'm going to say no to this, but actually ask yourself, what would she say? What would she say? And that, honestly, I base a lot of my decisions on my 9-year-old self. She's absolutely loving life. Yeah. She's looking back and she's like, you did it. You absolutely lived beyond all your limitations, all your limited beliefs, and you give the boys and yourself a life you dreamt of. I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
I'm feeling powerful today.
Oh yeah.
I know what's going on because I'm due on my period as well.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm on. I
You
don't.
are on
I
top
think it's a
form.
fake time. I don't know. I'm really turned a corner.
Yeah.
Something's happened, and I feel incredible. And I'm thinking, this is it. This is like the work's working.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It's like it's messy. You're not sure, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I can breathe. Like,
Yeah.
I could cry
Yeah.
because when you've been in the midst of it and the how, and I couldn't see this version of myself. And today I felt I was so empowered, and I thought, it's why we do it, isn't it?
makes it worthwhile.
So
yeah.
here's to anybody in the depths, because there's depths, is we're living proof that there's light.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
stay and wait, and it will. Trust the process, and it will.
Do you know what? I feel lighter after that. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you.
It feels like such a privilege to be able to just sit here and like talk. Like this.
I feel like
Yeah, normally you have
absolutely.
people talking at you.
Demands and requests and
Children.
But yeah,
surprised you haven't had that, to
I
be
was
fair.
just thinking actually about like, parenting, but also no, I love this. kind of,
Yeah.
like with my clients, and like, I love this. Like the demands and requests are from the kids, but
Yeah.
that's why it's such a privilege. Like, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
ask
And
me.
do you know what? So we'll share your Instagram, and is there a link on there for people to book in with you?
Yeah, I have a website.
A website, so we'll share all that because everybody needs Lydia in their lives. Do you know what I like about you? Love, actually, I mean, say love, is that you're just so authentically yourself. And that radiates through your Instagram. Actually, I'm not here as anybody else. This is me. You either like it or lump it. And a lot of women can relate to that because that's who they crave to be, is just authentically them.
Yeah.
And when I met you, it's the Wild and Wild event. I remember there's something about a woman who just knows herself. And you walked in and I was like, she's just so effortlessly herself that you give off that energy. And I love energy. Like, I was like, I need to be your best friend. Absolutely. So yes, thank you so much for coming on. It's Saturday and we're recording again in a minute. Not in a minute, but yes, here's the Saturday. I'm working after today. Absolutely. I've got Disneyland in Paris to pay for. I even to get bored about selling my feet at some point.
I think we need to.
Well, the cost of living's shocking.
Absolutely.
I don't think I'd get much for mine. What are you? Nice drive home now?
Yeah, podcast. I'm listening to Florence Given. I'll listen to her all the way here.
The book?
Yeah. She is just I'm so in love with her. She
Yeah,
is such a
I
wonderful
know.
human.
But the book is very good. It also teaching you about how to limit your beliefs, how to step out of them. I'm going to bring that book on and talk about it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
She's
Check that on.
do you know what? She's just built like, I just want
She's
to.
just fun, isn't she,
She's
as
just
well?
like
I love her like snippets.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
again,
fun,
like,
you just
authentic.
get this.
Unapologetically herself.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a shit about
No.
what people think. Like, just.
And people love her.
People
And
love
that's
her.
because of that.
Yeah. If you just be you and the right, honestly, I think like she'll be on here soon. Florence Given. I'm putting it out there.
Absolutely.
I want Florence Given. Absolutely. So yes, here's to Saturday. What are you doing? Unpacking.
Unpacking. Now I'm going to have a nice lie down.
I'm not jealous at all. So yeah, here's to Saturday. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.